On October 12th, my son was born. And as I watched something so innocent being brought into this world, I could only think of myself. Some would call me selfish. Others would say conceited. But if you give me a moment of your time to clean the judgment from your glasses, I will help you to see it. I thought of the pain I endured to get to this point where I could watch my son being born. The life I will one day have to explain to him that is full of failures and valleys that are filled with shadows that look like death, but yea, though I walk. One day I will have to explain that his Superman is fake and the cape you thought I wore was really the garment that carried my pain and often bore my shame. Shame of watching God lead me beside still waters, only to run from him and try and conquer raging seas, then turn around and scream at God, why didn't you save me from me? I can see the fear in his eyes as I explained to him that there were days that loneliness had become my nights and false smiles had consumed my mornings. And broken promises had somehow left me broken inside. These broken pieces seemed like a thorn in my flesh that will never be removed. And even though, like Paul, I cried out in the early morning so loud that I even awoke the dew, and yet these pieces remain because green pastures are only green when they have become fertilized. And yet my hurt seems to have become a fertilizer for a purpose not yet seen. Then I imagine him looking at me with tears that have filled his eyes, and he asked me, but, but Dad, where was your God? My reply, however, is simple. He was restoring my soul. It was never his doing that led me to my pain, but rather my own. While he was preparing a table for me in the presence of my enemies, I chose to invite them to pull up a chair and dine with me. But it was his rod and his staff that comforted me when no one else could. And my son, because of all this, the Lord is and has always been my shepherd. And I shall not want.